Today we are talking about a hot topic, and it's one that you guys have requested over and over. Today we're talking about herbal skincare, and specifically how to make your own skincare products at home. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I take care of my skin, what I use and what I don't use, and I'm going to introduce you to a handful of herbs that you need to know for skin. So before we begin today, let's just take a minute and marvel at this fact. I did some research and I found out that the average American woman spends over $600 a year on skincare. At first, I was like, there's no way. Like, even before I was doing things a little more holistically, surely I wasn't spending that much money on skincare, right? But then when I started to look through my bathroom cabinet at all the old products, and I realized most skincare routines are multi-step routines. So, you have like your cleanser and your toner, and then you have, something to minimize your pores, and you have anti-wrinkle cream, and you have moisturizers, and then you have overnight moisturizers and collagen boosters, and the list goes on and on and on. And one of the things that's super trendy right now, I keep seeing it all over social media, is Korean skincare. And those skincare routines also have like 10 steps. And I'm just like, this is craziness. And does our skin really need all of that? I would propose to you, no, it does not. In fact, for many, many years, for centuries, people have been using herbal skincare. Herbs have been at the base of beauty routines for people since the beginning of time. And that's what we're going to go back to. So today I want to introduce you to the herbs I use for skincare, and we're going to do a little skincare routine together. So let's just kick this off by getting my hair up and out of the way. You're getting the full demo today. We're gonna go for it. And so just so you know, I currently have on just the tiniest bit of makeup. I did not wash it off after I wore makeup last night. I slept in my makeup. So this is like second day makeup. Not good. You should always wash your face at night. But I knew I was going to do this video and I wanted some smudgy mascara so you could really get the full effect. So let's talk about skincare. For me, when I'm doing anything with my face, I use two products. Only two products. I use an herbal oil and I use a soap. That's it. So the herbal oil I make, I'm going to show it to you. This is the oil, and this oil has been infused with 5 different herbs. And then once we've infused it and strained the herbs out, I put it in like an amber dropper bottle. And this is what I keep like on my vanity or my bathroom sink for skincare, is this little bottle. But I'm going to show you how I made it so you can make it too. So that to make your skincare oil, you're going to need 5 herbs, and I have them in a bowl here so I can tell you about them. So first of all, they smell just phenomenal. I love all of these different herbs for their aroma. So as you can imagine, the smell's really nice going on your skin, but it's not heavy. A lot of like modern skincare has a lot of fragrance added. This is natural fragrance, so it's light. It's not going to be like super intensely, it won't be an intense smell. It's going to be very light and lightly floral. So these are the herbs that I personally love for skincare, but there are lots of others, and you can mix this up and make your own recipe. But I'm going to show you mine in case you need a little help getting going. So first, here at the bottom, we have rose. Rose is the grandma of skincare. We have been using rose for many years. It helps with skin softness, it helps with wrinkles, it helps with just evening the complexion, and it also is deeply moisturizing and soothing. So always, always, always include a little bit of rose with your skin preparations. Next, we'll just rotate on around. Down here we have lavender. Now, lavender may be kind of self-explanatory. Most people know and love lavender. It smells good. It relaxes the nervous system. It's very calming, but it's also calming for the skin. If you tend to have breakouts, if you tend to get redness, rosacea, those sorts of things, if you struggle with eczema, lavender is very soothing. And so I add a little bit of that in as well. If we continue on around, the green right here is lemon balm. Yes, I put lemon balm on my skin too. Now you guys know I love lemon balm. It's one of the herbs that ultimately helped me get well after years of chronic illness with Lyme disease. And I even use lemon balm for skin, and there's a reason for that. So lemon balm has a lot of different properties. It's good for many, many things. But one of the things is it is antiviral. And one of the viruses that lemon balm specifically treats is the shingles virus or the herpes virus, the same virus that causes chickenpox and shingles. Lemon balm directly fights that virus. And part of my story is I have had chronic shingles over the years. I've had shingles over a dozen times, which they say is nearly impossible, but my body found a way to do it. And so for me, I incorporate lemon balm in every facet of my day-to-day life, even on my skin. And by adding this to my skin serum, if I have a shingles flare or at the start of what I think might be the beginnings of the rash, I will use this skin serum on the rash, and it actually really helps dry up the blisters, it helps the pain, and it fights that shingles virus on the actual viral level. There is science to prove this. I'm not spouting nonsense. Research this. Lemon balm is incredible, incredible if you deal with shingles. So we always include that. So we have rose, lavender, lemon balm. Then here at the bottom we have calendula. Now calendula is another wonderful skin herb. It's a flower. It's a happy little yellow or orange flower. We grow these all over the garden, and even though they're really pretty, it's kind of hard to go out there and pick them because you want to leave them. They're so pretty. But we go and we harvest the flower heads and we dry them out, and then we'll kind of break them apart, and there's some dried petals. Calendula brings a really silk finish to this oil. I just love the way an infused oil feels when you have calendula in it. It becomes very silky and soft, and the smell of calendula is very soothing. In terms of healing properties, calendula is antifungal, antimicrobial, like it's really the gold star of skin problems. So while rose kind of supports just healthy skin, lavender supports calm skin, calendula helps if your skin is a little bit sick, like if you're having issues. So we add some of that too. So we had rose, lavender, lemon balm, calendula, and then our final one down here at the bottom is chamomile. Now, you've probably had chamomile in a tea to drink, but have you ever used it on your skin? It's wonderful for the skin. It's very calming, especially if you struggle with redness. Like for me, when I don't have any makeup on, you would see I have a little bit of redness in my cheeks, especially if I'm out in the sun at all. It will really pop out. I've always been that way. And so chamomile can kind of calm the redness and even out your complexion. And it's also deeply healing and soothing for acne. So all of these herbs combined together make the superstar formulation, and we call this blend our Nourished Skin Bath Tea, and I sell it in a bag like this. You get 2 cups, and so basically we mix it in a bowl like this, and I'll mix it all together, and then we fill your bag up with 2 cups. Now this is labeled as a bath tea because you could put this in a tea bag and then take a bath with it to kind of take care of your whole body and the skin on your whole body. It's very soothing. But you can also get a bag of this and turn it into the skin serum that I'm about to show you. So it's the same herbs and the same ingredients that we used when we made a bath tea, but this time we're going to use it as a face serum. And just as a note, you can drink this. This is a really wonderful tea blend as well. So when you grab a bag, you get 2 cups. Typically when I do an oil infusion, I do it in a jar like this, in a quart jar. So to make your infusion, what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 cup of your herbs, and you're going to put 1 cup of your dried herbs in here. Then you're going to cover it with your favorite oil all the way to the top. So we do 1 part dried herbs, and the rest is oil. So kind of a 1-to-4 ratio. And so by doing it that way, you're going to use a cup for your oil infusion. You're going to have a cup left. So you can either make 2 of these and share with a friend, or you can drink some of this as tea. You could add some to your bath water. But what you're going to find is while most Americans are spending, what was it, $600 a year on skincare, this little $30 pack of herbs is going to give you everything you need for skincare for the whole year, with some left for baths and teas and whatever else you want to use it for. So very well worth it financially, and no chemicals or harsh additives or fragrances. You can feel good about this. So you're just going to make it in a quart jar. You'll add your herbs and your oil, and then you let it infuse. Now, if you go back on my channel, I've shown lots of different oil infusion methods. You can do this in a crock pot if you need it done like by tomorrow. That's the quick method. You basically, set up your jar with your herbs and oil, put it down in a crock pot with some water in it, and almost like let the water heat it up a little bit faster. You don't want to go too fast because heat is going to kill the constituents of your herbs, but just low and slow. You can totally make a fast infusion that way. The way I do it is I add it to the jar and I let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks at least. You can let it go longer. A lot of times I'll let them go 8 weeks. But you just keep letting it infuse just low and slow, long, the natural way. And then at the end, run it through a strainer, and the oil you have left is going to be your skin serum, just like this. So you can see I do a half gallon at a time. So if you wanted to do your entire 2-cup bag, you would do the 2-cup bag in a half gallon jar, and then the rest oil. Now, before we put this on and I show you exactly how to use it, let's talk about what kind of oil you want to use for a skin serum. This is really personal, and ultimately it depends on you and your skin and how your skin responds to oils. Now, a lot of times I hear people say, don't use oils if you have oily skin, like for teenagers, for instance. Listen, I am about an expert on teenage skin because I have a house full of them. And every time they get a pimple, they're like, Mom, help. Because they just know like we have things that work. So when it comes to teenage acne, you do not need to be afraid of using something like this that is an infused oil, but you want to choose the type of oil that you use carefully. For instance, if you deal with acne, you don't want to make this with a heavy oil like olive oil. That would not be good. Some of my favorites that you can research and try are fractionated coconut oil. That one's very gentle. A lot of people like sweet almond oil. That's a good one. My personal favorite for anything skin and what I use is jojoba oil. And let me show you what it looks like. Here's a jug of jojoba oil, and I will actually link this for you in the description. So this is golden, unrefined, cold pressed jojoba oil. And yeah, you can buy huge jugs. I mean, they sell them by the gallon. I've even seen them in 5-gallon buckets if you want a lot. For most of us, we don't need that much. A jug like this would last at least a year, maybe 2. I mean, that's a lot of oil. So that's what I like to use. And the reason that I choose jojoba, and I've talked about this a little bit in the past, jojoba oil is the closest oil to your skin's natural sebum, or the natural oils that your skin makes. And so your body kind of knows what to do with this one. It absorbs it, it doesn't leave you greasy, and it just does a really, really good job. So jojoba oil is my favorite. But how do we use it? Let's get into the how-to of all of this and the fun part. So you're going to need your skin serum, whether it's in your jar or your bottle. And the first thing I do with it is I actually use the serum to remove my makeup. Because it's oil-based, it does a really good job at breaking down makeup. In fact, this even takes off my waterproof mascara, like without any issues. So normally I would use like a cotton pad, but I used them all up yesterday and I haven't been back to the store. So we're going to use a paper towel and it'll be just fine. So we're going to open our oil up and just get, a good dropper full, and I'm going to put it on my paper towel. Just one little dropper full. Okay, I'll set that aside, and you can see there it is. It's a little bit yellow like the jojoba oil. And then I'm going to take that and just start rubbing it all over to get my makeup off. Right on my eyelids and There you go. I mean, it's just taking it right off. And you can definitely, you know, use a little more if you need it. But I find that a little goes a long way with this stuff. And so you're just going to use this to take off any makeup. I'll even like get up under my eyes where the mascara likes to hide, you know. And just get it good and clean. Remove anything. See that redness coming back? I get a little pink. So you could even do a second pass. We're going to do another one. Since I slept in it, let's make sure we get it all off. We'll do one more little go. And this feels good going on. Like, I don't know. I don't like the foaming makeup removers. I don't like having stuff in my eyes. This feels good and it leaves me feeling moisturized and not dried out. So there you go. There is you a look at my makeup free face, y'all. Listen, in the world of filters, let's be women that are not afraid to show our real faces. How about that? It's hard for me, but you guys are challenging me to do it with things like this, and I'm thankful for you. Okay, makeup's gone. Next step in this process, we can't totally do out here. I'm working outside because the team is in there packing teas for you right now. So the next step would normally be to wash my face now. And this is what I use, is goat milk soap. Just simple goat milk soap. And I always use the goat milk soap from Misty Creek Acres. You guys have met Julie. She's been on here a couple of times for videos. She makes this with milk from her own goats. I love Julie and trust her. And this is the best soap. I mean, I've bought lots of goat milk soaps, but hers are legitimately my favorite. And she has lots of different kinds. She has a charcoal one that's a good detox soap that I bought for my kids, for my teenagers, for acne purposes. It's so good. So I will also link her shop for you if you need the soap for this whole skincare portion. But basically, I just suds it up in my hand and wash my face. That's it. And then once we're clean, we go to the final step and we pull back out that skin serum. The same thing we used for makeup remover. Now, with a clean face, we're going to apply it like a moisturizing serum. Now, this is my nighttime routine. I always put this on at night before bed. Another good benefit of using the jojoba oil in it is jojoba oil also helps with some discoloration. I've had, you might can see them. I've had some sunspots over here since I've started doing so much gardening, and those dark spots get darker in the summer, and the jojoba oil seems to really lighten them. Like, I've tried my serum with a different oil base and it didn't do the same thing. I really think the jojoba is what did it, and it was lightening those spots. So I'm being really intentional. That's the word. I'm being really intentional to use this every day this summer to keep my skin healthy. So here's what we do. It's this simple. You get you a good dropper full, just like that. And then we're going to put it in your hands, just like that. Okay. And then we're going to rub it, and onto the face it goes. This is not complicated. Skincare doesn't have to be complicated. It feels really good going on. It smells really nice. And so all you skincare girlies, you can leave me some tips in the comments, because again, this is not my thing. I'm just telling you what I do. But I do know that this makes my skin feel really nice. And I know that I can make this with 5 plants that I grow in my garden and a little inexpensive bottle of oil. And this will give me skincare for the entire year. And it feels so nice. I even put it on my neck and even here. I mean, you could do it everywhere, even as like a body serum. It would feel nice. You could take that infused oil and then you could kind of change it, and you could whip it up and add some things to it and turn it into like a body butter. You could make a salve out of it, all the things. Like, get creative. For me, I like the simplicity of a little dropper bottle, you know, that I can use to take off my makeup, to moisturize my face. And as you can see, I mean, it's a little tacky, like right after. It's not sticky, but like a little, and I put on a heavy layer. but within 10-15 minutes, it's not going to feel oily at all. It's going to feel really nice and it'll absorb, and my skin will be very soft. Even my hands like already feel soft from having that on them. So, skincare. It doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes skincare is as simple as choosing carefully the right herbs from your garden, infusing them in an oil, and making ancient skincare. So, friend, I hope that this week you will go out to your garden and go for a hunt for some skincare herbs. Some other things you could look for: honeysuckle is really nice in a skin serum, and it's in bloom right now. Mimosa flowers would be a great addition. You could even add bee balm to this. In fact, I love adding bee balm when it blooms. It's not blooming quite yet, but if you're growing bee balm or wild bergamot, that is an excellent addition to this. Mix it up, play around with it, but make some skin serum. Don't be afraid to try something new. And let's break up with $600 a year skincare and go back to the way our grannies did it. God bless you, friend, and I'll see you next week for another herbal project.